the story of the business? Why did you start the business? As a life coach, how do you make money? What's the most amount of money you've made because of your business? What's your message to all the aspiring life coaches out there? Can you explain the role of a life coach in the context of business?
In today's episode, we're excited to introduce you to an exceptional transformational life coach, Libni Fortuna. Libni helps people from all walks of life, including busy professionals, achieve peak performance by fostering inner peace and laser focus. She focuses on how changing your thought patterns, subconscious beliefs, and daily actions can lead to long-lasting positive transformations. In this interview, Libni shares her inspiring story of what led her to become a life coach. She also dives deep with valuable insights and actionable tips for anyone interested in becoming a life coach themselves.
If you're looking for some motivation and inspiration to begin your entrepreneurial journey, then you're in the right place. Hello hustlers, it's Micah Perez and welcome to my channel. In this channel, I've gathered an exceptional lineup of CEOs, entrepreneurs, and industry thought leaders who are eager to share their wisdom and insights that will help you become better. So, let's get started.
Hi, so what's your name and what do you do?
I'm Libni Fortuna. I'm a transformational life coach.
Right, so I have 10 questions for you.
I love it. Let's go.
All right, let's go. What's the story of the business? Why did you start the business?
Ever since I was young, my dad, I grew up in church.
Okay.
So I have beliefs already of God, and all those things. So I kind of had like a background of listening to people when they say something like, okay, ganun. And my dad was a motivational speaker. So, yeah.
Okay, kaya pala.
Pero I grew up like listening at the table, makinig talaga ako sa kanya. I guess like we all have a story ba na on our own na where we are going. So little did I know that it led up to this point where I grew up na and I had my life experiences. I left home, parang ang teacher ko yung life ko. And then I kept choosing myself along the way. I was a single parent and then, with society. So I kind of like, okay, so society. So how do I, parang meron akong own learnings ko ba? How do I deal with society? How do I deal with life? Ganon. So I became a single parent. What did I learn from that? Moving forward. And then I came to a point where I got really depressed. So sabi ko, how do I, walang anyone that pulls me out. So I tried everything. I tried crystals, yung mga crystal, hindi yung crystal na ano. I tried crystals. I even tried, witchcrafting, sabi ko, para malaman ko lang na there's more aside from, church and all those kind of things. Pero hindi na ako, I don't go to church anymore. I went out of the system, but I still believe in God. I did all other things for me to go back to myself. And then one day, I found a mentor who taught me about all these things, who worked through my traumas, and I said, I'm going to give back. So I started doing podcasts, tapos sabi ko, I need to record myself so that one day, if ako yung mawala, at least meron akong look. So literal na self-love yung page ko, everything that I talk about, kasi self-love nga. So every time I feel lost, I feel like, I need to go back. And then little did I know that people were benefiting from what I am writing. I get messages na, thank you for saving my life because of your writings, ganito, ganyan. So I kept going, and I said like, okay, so I wanted to serve more people. And I said, the only way for me to serve more people is to have another modality for me to teach them. And then I was looking at, Tony Robbins. So, he was my inspiration. So I said like, okay, so I believe in modeling the people who went ahead. So sabi ko, so what is the modality that he's using? So I learned that he was using neuro-linguistic programming. So neuro-linguistic programming is working with the unconscious mind to change the beliefs. So I said, okay, so where can I invest in this neuro-linguistic programming? And then I found a course in Australia. And then it was only online. And then at that time, I didn't have money pa. Sabi ko, for me to know that I have successfully made it through is that I will fly to Australia in November. And that was March. And I didn't have money. And in between, nagka-money ako. And I flew to Australia, trained for masters.
For how long?
Half a month. I trained there for half a month to learn what I am teaching now. And then went back here with my certificate. For me, it doesn't really matter. It's just the learnings that I got from there. And then I went back and gave back to the community and started retreats. So doon siya nag-start. And at the same time, one-on-one, ganon, and coaching and all of those things. So aside from that, I'm also backed up by coaches abroad as well. So I have a community there that supports me. So hindi ako mag-isa. So I fly there every now and then, run retreats with them, and then go back here to serve the community. So yeah, I bring here Western Australian beliefs, yung mga retreats, energetics, coaching, breathing exercises. It's not it's not common here. So I guess no one is doing it yet except me and a few of my students who have followed my path as well. So pretty proud of that it's starting to move. Na hindi lang mag-isa. They got inspired, and as you shine, you unconsciously give other people the permission to shine. So parang yun ang naging story ko na transition to where I am now.
Can you explain the role of a life coach in the context of business, and how can your services help business professionals improve their performance?
As a life coach, I work with the mind, so the mindset. So in terms of business, it's directly related to business because how you are internally will greatly affect how you show up in business. So if you are stable internally, it's easier for you to deal with people around and how you can interact with other people, because business is same with, connection with other people. So if you're not stable sa loob, how can you show up externally? And a lot of business people are also very stressed in life right now, and I don't know how they cope up with themselves. So I guess it's really the stability mentally, emotionally, physically, because business is like that. You have to be prepared in all aspects. So it's very important to to work through internally, so it's easier for you to give externally, if that makes sense.
Next is, what are some common mindset blocks you see in entrepreneurs or business leaders that prevent them from achieving financial success?
First thing, I'm not good enough. Hanggang dito lang ako. The scarcity mindset. So a lot of entrepreneurs are holding back because it's very transactional. Kaya doon nasisira ang most businesses, because they do it for the transaction. They do it because they can get something from you, when in fact business is service to other people. And if you focus on transaction, people will also feel the same way. So doon na yung mga bad feedback kasi I don't care, basta may pera lang, parang ganun. But in the first place, you are paid because of your service. And if people can get the service and the connection from your service, doon nagkakaroon ng abundance. So, yeah, I guess yun. Mindset block yung scarcity because, I need to get more to have more, when in fact it's about giving more to them and making them feel and they want more because it's that energy exchange. And at the same time, not being good enough kasi nga you constantly compare yourself to other business. Bakit malaki na siya?
Bro.
Then you forget that sometimes someone's day 365 can be your day 1, diba? Like that constant comparison to other people blocks you from actually achieving something. So those are the things. And then I guess it's one factor as well is the people that you surround yourself with. So if you're with people na masyadong ingitera na, ano yan, hindi yan siya pasal, whatever. You'll also have that mindset. So you have to be very careful who you surround yourself with, because if you're in a circle where wins are being talked about, where you're celebrated, you want to celebrate yourself more by doing more and, having that right mindset with the right kind of people. So yeah, I guess that's it.
How do you transform yourself from having a scarcity mindset to abundance?
Yeah, very good question. So work on the traumas. Because probably in your story, way back when you were younger, that was what was taught, especially to us na, huy, tipid ka lang dyan, ganito lang gawin mo. You have those limiting beliefs. So when I say working on your traumas, going back to where it came from, where did those beliefs come from? So that's where I come in. So that's why I work with the subconscious mind. Okay, so saan galing yun? Now, what were the beliefs back then that you chose to believe in? And now, how can you turn that belief to something else that, those kind of processes that I do, so that moving forward, you won't have to carry those beliefs. So all of this scarcity mindset came from when you were younger, when you had,
bringing.
Yes, and you chose to believe that it's true. So for you to transform, siguro, without, the coaching, number one, surround yourself with the right people. Those who doubt those doubts that you have, who believe your beliefs. Kasi nga, it's just stories on your head that you chose to believe in. So you believe otherwise na instead of you saying na hindi ako magaling, why are you putting energy into that belief when you can put energy into saying na ang galing-galing ko? And once you put energy into that belief na ang galing-galing ko, your mind will now start looking for evidences to make you really believe na magaling ka. So yeah, that's the change of belief. Yun, transforming change of belief.
It's all up here.
Yes. Diyan talaga ang simula.
What strategies do you recommend for maintaining a work-life balance, especially for business people?
Planning ahead, making sure that in your plans, in relation to earlier, have your goals, then plan in relation to what your priorities are. So divide it: business, family, fun time, personal time. And then I use Google Calendar to plan it out, because visually I can see it na, okay, sige, ito yung plan ko for the week. And then all the rest, if may bakante ako, lagyan ko siya ng time. So really planning, kasi nga, failing to plan is planning to fail.
Agree.
So yeah, it's very important for you to create a plan ahead on how you want to design your life, how you want to design your business, and then follow through your plans. Yeah. So if you don't follow through, that's when it starts to crumble because you don't have a system. You can't be expressive all the time. This is what I want. This is what I want. Sali sa pera. This is what I want. So it's not planned. So very strategic. Wag lang basta-basta.
So planning and systems.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Next is, how important is emotional intelligence in business?
How important? Very important, no? Because yes, you might have, intelligence, IQ, and all of those things. But when it comes to, kasi diba business is relating to other people.
Okay.
If you don't manage your emotions, kunwari magalit ka agad. If you don't know how to handle that in that moment, syempre madamay ang lahat. So you have to know how to handle your emotions. How? Okay, so emotions are energy in motion.
Yes.
So it needs to be expressed. And if you keep repressing it, once ma-trigger ka, yun na yung parang, doon na yung gulo na, bakit ganun? Bakit biglang nagalit? And then, yung decisions mo when you're triggered, mababa ang IQ mo.
Okay.
So the way that you deal with people, hindi kayo nag-iisip ba, kumbaga, na parang, galit lang ako. And then, later on, doon na yung regrets. So the way that you handle your emotions, if you feel anger, allow yourself to express it. Excuse ka muna, wait lang. Kasi that's how I do it na. Wait lang, galit ako. So I go to another side and then I'll just shout it out. Kasi nga, it's an emotion that needs to be expressed. It's an energy that needs to be expressed. And once you go back, parang, okay na ako. So when you feel stressed,
that's the secret.
Yeah, that's for me. Like, I just allow it to go out. Parang ganon. Or you can write through it, ganon. So just like laughter, diba, you allow yourself to laugh. Same like anger, you honor all of these emotions kasi nga it's all just part of, it's all just part of you. It's something that you should honor. You shouldn't be shrugging it away because you don't want one day na magputok ka ba kumbaga. Parang bomba na siya nakapasok lang sa tapos if you don't allow it to, go out, magputok lang siya bigla. So you don't want that to happen.
In your experience, how do personal development and professional development intersect? And why is this important for business success?
Personal and professional, when you're good with yourself, diba, everything is a projection. How you react to the world is how you are internally. What others do speaks more about them. So if you're okay personally, you're disciplined, you're emotionally stable, the way that you show up to other people, ganun din. And people will feel that. So, if you haven't really worked through yourself personally, if you don't know how to master your emotions, sa bahay pa lang, galit ka na, parang how do you expect yourself showing up outside? You can't pretend all the time because one day, kung ano ka, yun talaga yung makikita ng mga tao. So, you have to be, stable. It's like, whole composition. If hindi ka okay, in all other aspects, mahulog ang isa, madamay ang iba.
Okay.
So it's really a balance and a dance. Like, you just shouldn't be smart IQ-wise. EQ-wise, balance siya. And the more that you are balanced in those aspects, mas easy mag-deal with people around and mas madaling magbumawa ng pera.
Tama.
Kasi nga, it's a service. Business is service. And the more that people feel connected to your service, the more that they'll give money because everything is an emotional game. People buy things to feel things. And if they can feel things from your services, they'd want to invest more. So that's how I see business. It's more on emotional. How can you invoke emotion to people for them to buy your services? So yeah, that's kind of my outlook on that. Yeah.
What advice do you have for business leaders who are looking to improve their leadership skills and inspire their teams effectively?
Work on yourself first before you give to others. They should be, the people around you is a reflection of your leadership. Okay. So if gulo-gulo ka, gulo-gulo din sila. Diba? Kasi you are their permission piece. When you show na, galit, they will also work the same way that you do because that's what you show them. And that's how the culture, yung pinapakita mo sa kanila. So, if you don't show up on time, ganun din sila kasi they see na, parang okay lang yan kay ano. So, ganito din tayo. If sumasagot ka sa kliyente mo, they'll also see that. So, how you are as a leader will be directly reflected on the people that is working for you. Kasi nga, again, you're the permission piece. You're the light, kumbaga. So, kung ano yung light, they will follow through.
As a life coach, how do you make money?
Yes, I love that question. So I have different avenues and I've been in this industry for, I guess, seryoso ako 2 years ago.
Okay.
And then matagal ng exposure ko here. In my one-on-ones, I have my one-on-one coaching, I have my group coaching, I have my programs, I have speaking events, I have retreats. So that's how I make money.
What's the most amount of money you've made because of your business?
Mag-million na din.
Wow.
Mag-million na din.
In a year?
Yeah, more than.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Kasi come to think of it, I have my retreats. They earn siguro million din in a year. I have my one-on-ones, which is high premium prices, so around mga 150 to 200 ang one-on-ones. I have my group coaching, so around 6 digits then 100 plus. Yeah. And then my workshops, my events, little workshop, as minimum as 1,000 here in the Philippines, pero it's super cheap compared to the other countries, but like I work with what is, suitable to the environment. So yeah, it's really an investment. And yeah.
What's your message to all the aspiring life coaches out there na gusto din mag-start ng ganito?
So you surround yourself with the right people, invest in trainings to upgrade, because you can't really give something that you don't have. You can't just teach and assume that you know something that you don't actually have, because it will cause more damage to the student, since they are already open to you. So you have to be very careful what you teach them. Don't impose things. Empower them by asking questions. Don't decide for them, because you're taking away the power. Let them do the action. So if you're aspiring to be a life coach this 2024 or the coming years, it's a very great business, pero it's really more of service. Kasi it took a long time for me to actually charge for my service. I used to charge like 5,000 before, tapos hindi kasi siya compensating to the investments that I had to myself. Kasi the way that I see money, it's energy kasi.
Yeah.
And I cannot, I do not want to, dahil discounted, ang level ng performance ko mababa din. And I said like, I've invested so much to this one and I only get a little amount. So for me, money is energy. So yeah, you invest more. It's more of a transformation. Like, kaya ko pala tong gawin. And when you invest, kasi my transition to becoming here where I am now is I invested my last money on a training. So when you've given your all, since I said money is energy, diba?
Agreed.
When you're given your all, gusto mo talaga makuha ang everything. Parang, nabigay mo sa akin lahat ng alam mo.
Nothing to lose.
Yeah, so what happens is you're now an open container to learning. So everything that they will say, you will absorb. So for me, from that belief, I learned that, okay, so money is energy. So the more that you invest, you empty yourself. It's parang you remove the money, so you're expecting something from the teacher, you become an open container of receiving. So for me, money is an exchange, an energy exchange. The more you give, the more you're willing to receive. So yun ang transition ng money for me. So if you're a life coach, it's not really transactional like what I said, because your students will feel it. We're dealing about experiences, life experiences, so you have to be really honest with your work. Wag fasad-fasad kasi kawawang estudyante matrauma dahil sa'yo, alam mo yun? And for you to succeed in this industry, I believe you have to be really honest and really authentic and teach what you know, not what others know, kasi people will feel it. So yeah, I guess yun.
How can they book you? What are your social media accounts?
Social media, Libni Fortuna, and Instagram and TikTok, Libni Fortuna. I have a podcast anyway, moving forward. I have upcoming retreats, events, workshops, so hopefully you can follow me through that. Ayun lang, nasa social media lang siya lahat. Yeah, wag kayo maya magtanong.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you,
Miss Libni, for
Mike.
acknowledging this interview.
Subscribe for more empowering content that will help you thrive in the world of entrepreneurship. Until next time, keep hustling and building your success. Speaking of, the next video that is for you as a hustler is right there. Thanks for watching.